Davidson College has been doing a lot of number crunching since the pandemic started, monitoring how colleges and universities are dealing with COVID and now how school districts across the country are responding.
Tonight, Fox 46 is giving you some insight into the findings and what they may have answers for in the coming months. Fox 46's Derek Dellinger takes a deep dive into what they found out, some of which may be a surprise.
When schools started going remote last year, there was one primary reason: COVID-19. No one knew what would happen, who it would affect, or how. Since then, there's been a lot of education on the coronavirus, but how education itself has weathered the storm really depends on where you live.
We learned pretty early on that the number of COVID-19 cases in a given area and whether a school district was predominantly in person, online, or hybrid didn't seem to have the same relationship.
So what are those relationships? Dr. Chris Marsicato is with Davidson College, which, in conjunction with the American Enterprise Institute, is working to answer that question. They've developed the Return2Learn tracker.
If it's not COVID-19 alone that is driving how districts are making decisions, what are the other factors?
And the answer to that is not simple. They've been tracking patterns for months, going from poverty levels, internet access, whether they're in urban or rural area, to even how a district voted in the 2020 presidential election. Some of this information likely won't be much of a surprise when you really think about it. Areas with high broadband internet access and those that voted for Biden more than they did Trump in the 2020 election, they are more likely to be remote. But then there are some other figures as well. High poverty areas and areas with a high proportion of single mothers, they are more likely to be remote too.
The transition to remote learning does not affect all students equally, and overwhelmingly it's students who are already disadvantaged who face the greatest additional challenge by remote learning.
Andrew Garner, along with Samuel Owusu, are two Davidson College students doing the number crunching. For many districts, it's important to have equity, students having the same educational opportunities no matter where they live in a district. Problem is, though, the pandemic showed a lot of what was beyond the school's control.
A lot of students have had to cope in different ways, and a lot of school districts have had to cope in different ways to ensure the best educational experience possible.
The tracker also looked at race, too. In general, minority groups are disproportionately impacted by things such as poverty, lack of internet access, or having a one-parent household. But those behind the tracker say those categories matter in your child's education, especially if they are at home.
If we have divides where some people are getting opportunity and others are not, what that means is that we're not just hurting our population in terms of equity, we're also hurting our future economies.
It definitely has highlighted a have and have nots situation.
Catherine Truitt is the state superintendent of public instruction for North Carolina. She says districts adjusted well to providing equitable access for remote learning, providing hotspots and community access, but noted bigger issues relating to home internet access. Some can't get the service and some can't afford it.
The U.S. pays some of the highest rates in the world for internet service.
Truitt also says teachers have had to adjust too.
A lot of districts have been working to provide professional development for teachers so that if this happens again, they will be prepared to flip that switch again like they had to last March.
There are two big questions that have not been answered. First is whether it's a good idea for districts to head back to in-person classes.
Some K-12 districts are moving day by day.
But there's a second question that probably goes deeper, whether it was a good idea to go remote in the first place at the beginning of the pandemic. Those behind the tracker say those questions could be answered by the data they're getting in the coming months. Hindsight may be 2020 here, but
using as kind of a basis to understand better for the future, should a similar event happen, though hopefully it doesn't, what the most appropriate response would be.
And it's numbers that parents, districts, counties, states, and even the country as a whole can look at to figure out what's going on where, how, and then concentrating on the why. Derek Dellinger, Fox 46.